Sasha Martinengo.
Storming down the pit lane.
Weekdays from 12 to 2 p.m. Central African Time. On balls.co.za.
All right, joining us on the line from Johannesburg, he is the chief editor of motoring for the Citizen newspaper, but he's also a daredevil stuntman, as well as a very accomplished amateur racing driver. It's the one and only Andre de Kock. Andre, great to have you on Gearz, my friend.
Hi, Sasha.
Yeah, geez, I tell you, just a little bit of history. Andre and I actually won a race once. There were only 3 cars, and 2 of them bombed out, but we did win, didn't we?
Yes. And, I always said, when I was racing, I have a system. I drive slowly so that people can read the sponsors' names, on the car.
Andre, a lot of people don't know too much in the sense that you are most probably the craziest South African stunt driver that we have.
Well, yes, I'm just getting old and I need a few thrills. What happened was this weekend, me and a guy called Enrico Skuman, we went to Valwater, which is in the Limpopo province, and they shut one of the main roads for us, and we built a fire tunnel of 103 meters long, and we rode through it, and we now the new Guinness World Record holders for riding a motorcycle through a fire tunnel.
That on its own is incredible. So, I mean, you had the officials from the Guinness book there to make sure that everything was done correctly?
No, but we collected all the evidence, which we'll submit to them this week, and they should ratify it hopefully this week or next week.
Now, Andre, tell us a little bit about this. 103 meters is a very, very long way. First of all, how do you light that up so that it stays alight for the duration that you're going to drive through it?
Sasha, you built a tunnel. We had some very good help from guys called Kock in engineering.
All right.
These guys actually worked out for us how to do this, and they built the tunnel out of square tubing, and it's 5 meters wide, 2 meters high, and then it's like 6 meter long sections that clip into each other like Meccano. And then they drape over this 3 layers of very thick cardboard.
Yes.
That's serrated type of cardboard, and they hang this over the stuff. Then they douse, they tie it with wire, and then they douse it with diesel, and then they douse it with petrol as an accelerant, and then we had some little bombs, like we had an explosives expert, and he set off a whole bunch of little bombs, and they set off the fire.
That's unbelievable.
Because Guinness says that when you enter the tunnel, while you're in it, and when you exit it, it has to be structurally sound and fully on fire. Otherwise, you can't claim that you rode through such a long fire tunnel.
Okay.
And that's what we did. And the thing burns proper. I mean, it's 900 degrees Celsius inside the tunnel.
Okay. So, Andre, what number one? We'll get into the safety side in a short while. But what vehicle did you guys use? What bike? I know there was a sidecar kind of bike, but what? Just tell us a bit about it. How it was prepared.
It's an Australian sidecar.
Okay.
They used to race these things, or they still race them on quarter-mile ovals, where the passenger sort of hangs over the side of the rider.
Yeah.
They normally race them on dirt. And my friend Enrico had one of these, and we used to race it at the old Dinswart hot rod circuit way back in the 70s. And they closed the circuit down, and the bike stood under a tarpaulin, and then one day he read somewhere that the actual world record for riding through a fire tunnel was only 63 meters.
Yes.
So we decided that we could do that, because occasionally at Dinswart we used to, during the interval, we used to just build a little tunnel, also out of steel, and wrap it with cardboard and ride through it. But those were like 20, 30, and maybe 40 meters long. But we figured, 60 meters shouldn't be so long. And so, we actually hauled the bike out, and we had a lot of help from people. Kawasaki South Africa gave us bits and pieces. People helped us to tune the bike. People, these, all sorts of people came. Then we ran into another problem. nobody would let us do it. Not in Gauteng, they wouldn't.
Okay.
It's we want to do something dangerous in Gauteng. It's more complicated than buying a small country. I mean, you have dozens of meetings with little grey men with clipboards, and all they can say is no.
Unbelievable.
And they won't let you do it. They simply will not let you do it. And eventually we found out. We did a shorter run, 73 meters, at the Dalton Raceway.
All right.
And there was a bit of about it on TV, and the people in Farwater saw it, and they have this annual game festival, and they said, come and do it here. And it took exactly one meeting. And they set it up, and they shut the main road between Farwater and Ellis-Russ for us for 4 hours on Saturday.
Yeah.
And we built the tunnel, and we ran the 103 meters.
I mean, it's just incredible. I've got a picture which I picked up from iol.co.za. I mean, it's a stunning photograph. I'm sure you're going to have that picture hanging in your bedroom or in your lounge one of these days. Were you driving the bike or on the side?
No. I was on the sidecar.
You were in the sidecar. Okay, so that's even more dangerous.
My role there is to keep the bike straight. You see, these things are built to go around quarter mile oval.
Yeah.
So if you try and ride it in a straight line, it will turn right. So Enrico rides a bike, and I sort of balance myself on the chassis on the other side, and I had a rope, and I hooked it around it, and I pulled the chassis strap, with my fat backside. The thing had no chance. It ran straight. Because once you're in the tunnel, you can't see anything.
Well, I can well imagine. I mean, and in terms of your clothing, I mean, you must have had serious fireproofs on, medical,
normal,
just normal racing stuff.
That first race stuff that you wore when you came and raced, exactly those suits.
Is that so? That's brilliant.
With the underwear, we've got a few. I've got some blisters because the underwear, the sweat in the underwear boils.
Yes. Well, she's 900 degrees.
Yes, so I'm walking a bit carefully today because I've got blisters all over me. But apart from that, no, we're fine. And then it just shows you, first race actually they have those. On a previous run, we caught fire properly during a practice run, and they've got that overall of mine up on their wall.
Yeah.
And it just shows it's got a few places where it actually blistered, where it broke.
Yeah.
But if somebody asks, does that stuff work? The guy points to that thing and he says that man was properly on fire for 30 seconds, and this was the case again.
Incredible stuff, eh? You're incredible, Andre. I mean, you say you did a couple of test runs, shorter ones at Tarleton. Tell me how you were feeling. I mean, I know that you get this adrenaline rush from doing these kind of stunts, but this one is very risky, very dangerous. I mean, how did you feel when you sat with Enrico and said, "Okay, buddy, start the engine and let's go"? I mean,
no, it's very scary. This thing was we decided between the two of us that when we reached 100 meters in length, that we would stop, because at this point the risks start to outweigh what you get for it.
Sure.
Sorry. And so we decided to do that, and I'm quite happy to never do a fire tunnel again in my life.
Okay, well, because I was reading and sitting there, and you were saying here, once we've done that, we're going to stop. But you are going to continue doing the stunts, but perhaps not the fire ones.
Oh yeah, no, I'll continue to crash cars and do all sorts of other things. But this is not. It's a horrible feeling actually when you stand in front of the thing and you happen to know that once you go into it, there's only one way out, and that's on the other side. And if you don't make it, you're going to be dead. Because, the fire people keep on telling us, if you breathe inside there, you're dead. And so you need to hold your breath, because your lungs were not designed for 900 degrees Celsius.
Of course.
And so you have to keep your breath. But the problem is if something goes wrong, you run into something, so then whatever the bike cuts out, you will breathe.
You're incredible. Well, listen, Andre, hopefully, I'm sure you've got some video footage of it, so please won't you mail it to me, or a link or something when it's all up and ready, because we'd love to show it to our visual radio viewers here as well.
Yeah, we got some brilliant stuff. the SABC's Hannes Ranneke was there.
Okay.
And they shot it for SABC TV News. It appeared on news on Saturday night. I'm, of course, the only person in the world that hasn't seen it. But, but they mounted 2 little cameras on the bike, which we wrapped in asbestos coating. We actually cut up some asbestos gloves and then wrapped the cameras in them. And they got some awesome on-bike footage, they tell me. So yes, we will see to redistribute that.
Oh, that would be brilliant. Congratulations, Andre, to you and to Enrico. I mean, on this unbelievable record. I'm glad that you're okay, and I'm glad that it went very, very well. And, of course, I look forward to seeing you somewhere at some racetrack very, very soon.
Yes, sir.
All right.
Thank you.
Thanks, Andre. Take it easy.
Bye.
Bye. This just sounds so nonchalant. Yeah, I'll continue crashing cars, and then, well, if you don't make it to the other side, well, you're dead. Just like that. Eh? That takes balls.
Gearz on bulls.co.za with Sasha Martinengo.
He's kept himself out of trouble.
Weekdays from 12 to 2 p.m. Central African Time.